Hey, it's Michael Choi from Yorba High School Comp Sci Period 5, and I'm going to be doing another lesson on tutorial on lesson 4.2, I believe. And for this class, there's a lot of repeating things, so you're going to have to pause the video because I'm going to copy and paste some things from a working program I already have running. And you'll understand what I mean by that further in the video. So let's jump right into it. First, we're going to start our rectangle class, which is our blueprints, as we all know. Import public. First of all, we should know that we need to import the GP draw, and we need to import all the files. And from Java, Java color. Yeah, we need to import the color from Java. I forget what the ATW stands for, but yeah. So next we're going to be creating the class, and we'll label that rectangle because it has to match the namespace. Public class rectangle. And for rectangle, what we need to do is create a sketchpad first of all. So private static, since we're only going to be creating one drawing tool, import it from the GP draw pen equals new drawing tool, and then we're gonna create our sketchpad in the parameters. Sketchpad 500. Next, we're going to declare the variables private double my x. I have to get some homework done soon because I have about 2 more periods left, so I'm gonna copy and paste some of these. And so these are the values you need to input. Pause the video if you need to. Next, we're going to start on our constructors, public rectangle. And this is our default constructor. But since we need 3 constructors, let's just copy and paste those for the other ones. And our default constructor is going to have the value set to my x equals 0. My y equals 0, my width equals 100, my height equals 100. And the 100 are arbitrary values, but the my x and my y should probably be 0. You could choose any value for this as long as it makes sense, like 10 or 100, something like that. Next, we're going to the normal constructor, and it has a parameter of double x, double y, double width, and double height. And for this, we're going to just be plugging in my x and my y right into those values. So, like again, if you need more time, pause the video. I don't have as much time as the last tutorial, so I'm going to be speeding along here. Rectangle, and if you watch my last tutorial, then you should be able to figure out generally what's going on here. We do the same thing except set my x to other dot my x. So this way it calls back on the other object. So time for the technical stuff. We're going to start double get perimeter. And notice that I know I explained this last video, but double the reason we use double instead of void or integer is because when you have void, it's not returning any value. When you use integer, public float, anything like that, that means you have to have a return statement. You always have to have a return statement. So for this, we're gonna say the perimeter is equal to 2 times my width plus 2 times my height. If you don't understand this, you're probably an idiot. Next, we're going to go to public double get area, and this is really easy too. Return my width times my height. Obviously, length times height. So here's a little bit more tricky part. We're asked to draw a rectangle, and a public void draw, because there's no return value, it just simply does a function for us. And so for draw, what we have to do is lift the pen every time we draw the rectangle, then set the pen to whatever x and y you want, put the pen down, and then draw the rectangle. So how we're going to approach this is pen dot up, and if you need to recall the API functions, you can just Google them, or, well, yeah, you can Google them. And remember, recall that we called our drawing tool pen, and we're calling the up function, the up method, I'm sorry. And we're going to set, since we lifted the pen, we're not drawing anything, and we move it to my x, comma, my y. This is going to be the origin of the rectangle. Not the origin of the entire program, but the rectangle. Next, we're going to put the pen down, and notice we have not drawn anything yet. We have just simply set the pen. Okay, next we're going to go pen dot move my x, comma, my y. For my preference, I like to draw the rectangle to start at the very bottom left corner and then work its way around in a counterclockwise like way. So think about that for a second, and if you need to pause the video, then pause it, because it's important to understand what I'm talking about, because you won't understand what I'm doing right now if you don't. So we're gonna add the width or the length, and then next we're gonna add the height. So right now we're at the bottom right corner, and we're going up to the top right corner. And to do that, we have to add my height, and then after that we have to go to the top left corner, and to do that we have to go back to the original x but stay at the higher y. And then to draw the final line, we just have to go back to the origin. So again, if you don't understand this piece of code, it's kind of crucial, so I'd go back and watch it again. And after that, we will go to the public void draw, and this is the other method when it calls upon a color. Color, my color. And it's a little similar to that copy constructor we were talking about, but well, it's actually very similar. What we're going to do is set the color to my color. Remember, we're in this color class, you could say it's calling upon my color. It's setting the color to my color, which is in the variables, or it should be set when we call upon it in our rectangle tester class. So once we finish that, we also have to actually have to make the draw actually draw something in my color. So we're gonna literally, instead of doing this all again, we're just gonna call upon the same method again. What this will do is draw the rectangle and then set the, you have to first set the color and then draw the rectangle, and you're done. And an important thing to note is when you're drawing, like, let's say a red rectangle, it'll set this color to red, draw it, and then it's done. But we can't forget that the rectangle is still set to red, so here we have to add we have to set the color back to color.black. So just in case we call upon just this normal function, then it'll call color in black like a default rectangle would. Okay, next we're going to go to the accessors. I'm only going to type in one of them, and you guys should be able to get the rest. Get my x, because we did this last video. And what this does is just transfers the variables across the classes. And return my x. So we're done with that. We have all these accessors, and it'll be able to provide us information for our rectangle tester. And now that we finished our rectangle class, we'll move on to our rectangle tester, which creates the actual object. So again, public class rectangle tester, public static void main string brackets, and here's our main method. So here Mr. Elliot provided all the information, which is quite handy because there's a lot of copying and pasting that goes on here. Oh wow, I really do not want to space that out. Let's see. So basically, you just copy this and paste this from the ICT lesson 4.2, and it creates a bunch of rectangles. Certain ones that have default, certain ones that have coordinates and length, and certain ones that just copy from another function. And notice that when it draws the actual rectangle, it somewhat splits it into two tasks. The first is creating the object and setting the parameters to whatever x and length you want, and the second part of setting the drawing the rectangle actually draws it into the color specification. So pretty much the rest is self-explanatory. It just prints out the line. It prints out the information of get area, get perimeter, and I think I did this correctly. I should get no errors. Ooh, I did. I did get some errors. Let's see. It says double width. Oh, there's no comma. And so for this class, since we're using the color red, we have to also import the java.atw.color. Don't forget to capitalize the color. And this should definitely work. Yep. Here we go. Wow, that is not right. Let's see. What did we do wrong? Obviously, it has to be here, so obviously my mistake. No. Looks like I'm rushing too much. Let's see. So it starts at my x and my y. It goes right to my width. It goes up to my height. Up to my height. Goes back. And oh, here's the problem. When it reset itself, it has to go back to the origin. So remember what I was talking about? It starts at the bottom left corner, goes to the right corner. Bottom right corner goes to the top right corner, and then to the top left corner, and then back to the origin to finish the final line. And there we go. That's the finished test. Whenever the ICT lesson 5 is coming out, I'll help you guys if it's not similar to this one, because, well, yeah, this is kind of boring. See you guys later. And yeah.